Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over Vivid Voltage Charizard and how I think it might be one of the best decks shaping up in this new format. Let's get right into it. So as you can see here, we have the full line of Charizard. Of course, we got the 4 Charmander, 2 Charmeleon, and a 4 Charizard. Now the Charizard here is of course our main attacker. This is what we're going to be focusing around. Its battle sensibility. Once during your turn, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand, and discard the other 2. Sometimes this can be a double-edged sword. Say you need to get a rare candy. You just search, grab that rare candy, but say there's a welder in there too that you need, and so you have to discard one of the other. Usually the welder, because you can always get them out of the discard with a pal pad, but you can't do that with rare candy, so usually we just get rare candy. It's a 1 attack, 2 fire energy, royal blaze, 100 plus damage. It does 50 more damage for each Leon card in your discard pile, and we are of course playing 4 of the new Leon that came out in Vivid Voltage. If you use this card as a supporter, so it's your once per turn supporter, it gives you your attacks 30 more damage. So anything you do, you're doing 30 more. So it's doing 100 base. Play this, you're doing 30 extra, except for its ability or its attack says to discard each Leon in your discard, you get 50 more damage. So basically playing it in this deck, you're doing an extra 80 damage for every time you play a Leon. Charizard caps out at 300 damage total with all 4 Leons in the discard pile. Best thing about that is 400 or 300 damage. It gets you pretty close to taking out all the VMAXs. Of course, you're 2-shot and everything, but once you play the Leon, you're actually doing 330. That'll allow you to get a 1-shot on most things. Eternatus VMAX has 340, so we also play a Zigzagoon here to be able to cap out at 340 damage if you don't use any of your scoop up nets on it. So you swing into a Eternatus VMAX for 330 damage. They swap to the bench. Next turn, you lay down the Zigzagoon and just pop it and get yourself 3 prizes for free. Feels like extra draw whenever you don't have any cards in hand. We are also playing 1 Dedenne for that discard and draw 6 ability. 1 Oricorio GX. For its Dance of Tribute, this allows you to draw 3 cards anytime you have a Pokemon knocked out during your opponent's last turn. So they swing into you and they knock out one of your Drachis. That Oricorio allows you to draw 3 cards off the top of your deck. It's a super amazing ability and comes in really handy. For the most part, you don't have to worry about this getting knocked out or the Dedenne getting knocked out because they're too busy worried about the Charizards, because they do a massive amount of damage on a 1 prize Pokemon, so they need to kill those as fast as possible before you can get them ramped up. With its battle sensibility, looking at the top 3, if you have 2 of these out, plus your Oricorio, that is a possibility of looking at 9 cards off the top of your deck, putting 2 of them into your hand and keeping 3. So what you look at that is you look as a 9-card draw, but you only get to keep 5. 2 you get to choose and the other 3 are random. Really good. You can really dig through your deck really fast. And of course, for setting up, we have Jirachi. The ability to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, put one of them into your hand, or a trainer card into your hand, and then shuffle your deck and this Pokemon goes to sleep. That is, of course, the best way to start your deck. It allows you to search out things like your rare candy, quick ball, Pokemon communications, ordinary rod, whatever you need that turn. And of course, the lower cards you get in your deck, the more useful Jirachi is, allowing you to search out exactly what you need. We are playing 3 welders. Being able to attach 2 fire energies is handy, and drawing 3 cards. Sometimes it is necessary to welder onto a Charizard, but most of the time it's not. If you can welder, normally what I will do is I'll welder and I'll only welder 1 energy, because I've already been attaching energies throughout the game, and because it only takes 2 turns to set up. So normally on my first turn, going first, you always want to go first with this deck because it is an evolution deck, is you'll play down your Charmander, you'll Dedenne, Jirachi, whatever else you can first, and then you'll attach an energy to Charmander. And then next turn, if you have your rare candy Charizards, you just evolve. All you have to do is attach 1 and start swinging, or in lots of cases, you welder that 1 energy onto Charizard, draw your 3 cards, and then you're able to attach another energy, a second energy, or a third energy as it were, to Charmander, so that next turn you do not require welder, you just need to be able to get him evolved up into Charizard. Super simple, super easy way to get going. This deck is very consistent and has worked really well for me so far. We play 2 Giant Hearth because you still need to be able to search out those fire energies, and this is the best way to do it. 1 Boss's Orders. This could possibly be bumped up to 2. I've run into situations where I've needed to. I was able to pull out the win, but 2 is always helpful. Being able to pull up that weaker Pokemon, so you want to get a Dedenne or something like that, just being able to pull it up and knock it out is super handy. We do play one Pal Pad, so it's not that big of a deal. If you discard it, you get to put it back in your deck, but if it's prized, then you're stuck just hitting whatever they put into active, and if you go up against a Doll's deck, that can be pretty aggravating. We are playing 2 Great Ball for just the generic search, try to get those Pokemon the best ways possible. 3 Communications, being able to search out all 3, be able to shuffle something back in and then pull out whatever Pokemon you need is, of course, always handy. 2 Switch, in concert with the 3 Scoop Up Net, allows you to get anything you need out of the active. You are only playing 2 GXs, the Oricorio and the Dedenne GX, so you're able to pick up almost everything in this deck with Scoop Up Net. That includes your Zigzagoon, Charizards, and Jirachis. I have picked up a Charizard before when it had damage on it, and I just didn't need it knocked out by a bench spreader. So it can be helpful. I did lose the rare candy effect, of course, off of that, but I was able to go straight into Charmeleon next turn and then power up that way. But yeah, Scoop Up Net is still a broken card like it always has been since it came out. We are playing a total of 10 Fire Energies because you don't need more than that. 11 was you always had more Fire Energies than you needed, so I dropped it and added in another, I want to say it was another Giant Hearth or something like that. So 10 Fire Energies is perfect amount of energies. You could make a case to go down to 9. I've not tried it, so it might be a little clunky trying to get those out. But either way, this deck has worked really well for me. I've beaten Pikarom, Eternatus, Turbo, Zacian ADP, Zacian, Luke Metal, all of those high grade tier 1 decks. This has performed really well for me. Able to get it out on your turn, your first turn. Your second turn, going first, you're able to usually straight up go into a Charizard and start swinging for at least 200 to 280 damage nearly every turn. Something I will say, the new Talonflame V that has come out, that for 1 energy, colorless energy, you get to discard your hand and draw 6 cards, and you can play it if you go first on your first turn. That is 1 card I would consider taking into here, but usually Jirachi fills that spot. But let's say you Jirachi, you Scoop Up Net, put in Talonflame, who also has free retreat, and then discard your hand, draw 6, and that is also a very good combo there. So having a free retreater would be good along with your ability to discard your hand and draw 6. So that was one tech I'm going to look into putting in here just as soon as I grab that card. But anyway, guys, this is my Charizard list. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you've got a better list you think is doing better. Hit me up and we'll talk about it.